There is something invisible passing through the walls of your house right now, through your furniture, through your body, through everything, and your phone is catching it, interpreting it, and using it to load a video in seconds. Most people call it Wi-Fi, but almost nobody knows what it actually is. Wi-Fi is radio waves. That's it. That's the big secret. The same fundamental technology that broadcasts music from a radio station to your car is what connects your phone to the internet. The difference is frequency. A radio station broadcasts at frequencies measured in megahertz. Wi-Fi operates at 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz, much higher frequencies, which means it can carry a lot more information. Think of it like this. If a radio wave were a road, a Wi-Fi signal would be a 12-lane motorway, more lanes, more data, moving faster. Your router is essentially a tiny radio station sitting in your living room, constantly broadcasting, constantly listening, just at a frequency your ears can't detect. Now here's where it gets technical. A radio wave by itself is just a wave. It doesn't carry information. To send information, you have to change the wave in a very specific way. This is called modulation, and it's the same principle behind every wireless communication ever invented. Imagine a perfectly steady drum beat. That's your bass wave. Now imagine changing the rhythm slightly in a pattern. Fast, fast, slow. Fast, slow, fast, slow, slow, fast. Each pattern means something different. That's essentially what modulation does. It encodes information into the wave by changing it in controlled ways. Your router takes the data it wants to send, your YouTube video, your email, your message, converts it into ones and zeros, and then encodes those ones and zeros into changes in the radio wave. Your phone's Wi-Fi antenna catches that wave, reads the changes, converts them back into ones and zeros, and hands them to your phone's processor, which turns them into the video you're watching or the message you're reading, all of that, in milliseconds, every single time. Now here's something most people never think about. Every device in your house is sharing the same radio channel. Your phone, your laptop, your smart TV, your tablet. Your neighbor's network is bleeding through the wall. So how does your phone know which signal is meant for it and not your laptop? Every device that connects to a network has a unique identifier called a MAC address. Think of it like a postal address, but for hardware. When your router sends data, it labels each packet of information with the MAC address of the device it's meant for. Your phone constantly listens to everything being broadcast, but it only pays attention to the packets addressed to it. Everything else gets ignored. It's like being in a crowded room where everyone is talking at once. You tune out the noise and only respond when you hear your name. You've probably noticed your router offers two networks, one at 2.4 gigahertz, one at 5 gigahertz, and you've probably just picked one without really knowing why. Here's the actual difference. Lower frequency waves travel further and pass through walls more easily. That's 2.4 gigahertz. It covers a wider area, gets through obstacles, but it's slower and more congested because almost every wireless device ever made uses it. Your microwave, your baby monitor, your neighbor's router, all competing on the same channel. Higher frequency waves carry more data but don't travel as far and get blocked more easily by walls and furniture. That's 5 gigahertz, faster, less congested, but it loses strength quickly with distance. So 2.4 gigahertz for range, 5 gigahertz for speed when you're close to the router. Simple as that. Everyone has experienced it. You're sitting 2 meters from your router and your Wi-Fi just decides to stop working. Here's why that happens. Wi-Fi operates on channels within its frequency band. Think of them like lanes on that motorway from earlier. If everyone in your apartment building is using the same channel, it gets congested. Your data has to queue behind everyone else's data. Things slow down. Sometimes they stop entirely. Interference is also a real problem. Microwaves operate at 2.4 gigahertz, the same frequency as your Wi-Fi. Turn on a microwave and it can genuinely disrupt your connection. Thick concrete walls absorb higher frequency signals. Even other electronic devices emit electromagnetic noise that can interfere. And then there's just physics. The Wi-Fi signal spreads in all directions from the router. If your router is in a corner of your house, you're wasting half your signal broadcasting into a wall. Putting it in the center of your home, elevated, away from other electronics, makes a real difference. So, Wi Fi is radio waves modulated to carry data, broadcast from a router that's essentially a tiny radio station in your home, received by an antenna in your phone that listens for packets addressed specifically to it. The reason it sometimes fails is the same reason any radio signal fails: interference, congestion, distance, physics. It's not rocket science, it never was, it's just radio, made very fast and created very slow.